Ah, awesome. How y'all doing? So, I got up a little bit ago and I saw this. Well, the video is well done, um, and informative and all that, but it's, it's a pile of shit piece of news, to be honest. Um, so we're gonna watch this video by Blame Truth, and I'm gonna cut in and um, add some additional commentary, um, because this is kind of important. Because Activision is delivering cease and desist orders against modifiers who are creating engines and stuff to play these older COD games because there's major security risks. And to the best of my knowledge, Activision actually doesn't support those old engines and everything. Um, and that'll come into a point when I'm commenting. Um, so that's what we're going to get into today. And if you aren't subscribed to him, go subscribe to Blame Truth, specifically for like COD content and all that kind of stuff. He's always been very informative and that kind of thing, and I find him quite entertaining and good as far as that goes. So let's get into his video, and I'm gonna shut the hell up for a little bit, and we're gonna see what's going on here. Okay.
Next Call of Duty title, rumored to be Modern Warfare 3. Not, ladies and gentlemen, I will not be purchasing the next Call of Duty title, rumored to be Modern Warfare 3. Not to be confused with the one released like over a decade ago, but Modern Warfare I was calling it Modern Warfare thrice, whatever you want to call it. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm gonna put my foot down, and I'm gonna take the potential financial hit come, I guess, November or whenever that piece of garbage is coming out, because it happened again, and I just can't do it, man. My last video got I think as of me making this, it's got nearly 200,000 views. It's nice to see traction on it, but in that video I said, this stuff is bigger than the channel. This stuff is bigger than me. This is something that affects the entire industry, not just even Call of Duty. It affects the entire gaming landscape, the entire AAA gaming industry, which for the past few years has been really, really bad. Really, really bad. It goes beyond.
He's absolutely right. And I would say that it actually goes beyond gaming. This is in the tech sphere. This is my world, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But this affects anybody who plays games, uses software, does reverse engineering as either a hobby or as part of a career, to facilitate support for existing clientele who, whatever the company that did original productions and stuff like that, they're not supporting. So this goes into a lot of that territory, and many of the modern and not so modern game companies often forget that they are a member of the technology community. Let's keep going.
On Call of Duty, but I want to ask again, if you can, like this video, get this out there, because I've just put my foot down as a Call of Duty content creator. I'm not purchasing the next game. If you see gameplay of that game on this channel at any point in the future, it's going to be someone else's, or I'm going to have a stolen copy. I will not be purchasing that particular title. I try to be honest with you guys, and people will say like, dude, you're gonna buy it. Like, guys, I didn't buy Modern Warfare 2019. I did actually buy it, but I refunded it. I didn't like it. So I did what everyone's been telling me to do for a long time. Don't like it, don't play it. And I did just that. And then I got people saying like, well, you can't judge the game unless you're playing it actively, so you can't win with these people. And by these people, I mean the internet. You just can't win. But anyway, in my last video, I talked about how Activision took down SM2. SM2 was a fan-made passion project, not making a cent, not making a dime. It was just people working on a Call of Duty that people could enjoy on PC.
That is a key point. They were not selling this modification that they had done, and so no transactions have actually taken place. And you can actually, because they have developed from somebody else's technology that is no longer supported or isn't supported well. There's a lot of things that go into like tech laws and shit, but I digress. So there is no actual reason for a cease and desist. Aside from here in the United States, you can sue anybody for anything. So a cease and desist order isn't actually some kind of legally binding thing. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. It's literally them just saying, hey, we're going to sue you if you don't stop because we don't like it. That's what that is. And because these game companies generally have a lot of money, the everyday person is like, oh no, fuck that. I'm just gonna comply. If more of this stuff actually went to court, the gaming companies specifically wouldn't like that very much because it would start bringing into question a lot of their practices in the technological landscape. So they're really happy when you just comply and you just stop. There is nothing illegal that is going on here. So when you hear about, a cease and desist, if you don't cease and desist, the FBI isn't going to come to your house. You're not going to get arrested. None of that shit. It's just a lawsuit. It's an expensive lawsuit, sure. But if they end up being found in the wrong, which, like I'm saying, they probably would be, they're going to pay for it. So keep that in mind. Let's keep going.
PC, released free, basically a mod of Modern Warfare 2, but they switched engines, and a lot of people said like that's why they got the hammer brought down on them. They switched engines to the Modern Warfare remaster.
They switched engines to another one of Activision's dead products because that would have been easier to patch. And again, it goes into the whole reverse engineering of product that you've paid for. Especially once you've paid for the product, you can reverse engineer it and do what the fuck you want with it. You can even sell your product after you've reverse engineered it, providing that you do a couple things. That's not germane to this video. But this is all still completely legal. So we're going to keep going.
Mastered engine so they could do what they wanted to do with the game. And most people were pretty against Activision. There were a few people doing stuff like this, what you see on the screen right now, and saying like, well, they're gonna protect their IP, man. But like, here's the issue: you can't even play these old games. SM2 is basically a bunch of old Call of Duties mixed together because you can't fucking play them. It's a security risk to play them. And that brings me to today's topic before I get too far gone and just, I don't know, complaining and rambling and whatnot. Activision did it again. Activision did it again. They sent out another cease and desist, this time to X Labs, the makers for IW4X, which was one of the only safe ways to play Modern Warfare 2, the original, like, on PC.
Could I get the 10-piece chicken McNuggets?
Wait, no, Big Mac.
Sir?
Oh, I'm still here.
Get one favorite like a Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets and get another for just $1. Right now at McDonald's.
Meet the Ninja Woodfire Outdoor Grill and Smoker. Sear and char like a full-size propane grill. Smoke and create authentic bark. Air fry outdoors and add woodfire flavors to any dish. Grill outside the lines with the Ninja Woodfire Outdoor Grill and Smoker.
And I fear after seeing this that...
Apologies for that. I don't have the YouTube Prime or whatever. So that's my bad. Moving.
that they're going to come for Plutonium next, Black Ops 2 Plutonium. Any kind of client that revitalizes an old Call of Duty and makes it safe to play, Activision's not fucking doing it. Activision doesn't care if you get hacked by some random guy in Bangladesh that has a weird big-tittied hentai anime girl that when you squint just long enough, it looks like Ben Affleck in the face. They don't really give a fuck.
In my world, we call that third-party support. In support of the, because the main company is no longer supporting, and they've literally, at this point, because of the age of the product and all that other kind of stuff, and its product life cycle, there's kind of there's an open door, do as you will. Now, you kind of can't sell the game as yours, and you can get in trouble for using certain assets and all that kind of stuff. But the important part of this is that these two groups here were offering third-party support to old-ass product that was more secure than the original. So it has been upgraded with their tech at this point. They have reverse engineered this old technology and made it better, right? This is a completely legal practice. So this is why the cease and desist really doesn't have any teeth. Because even though they could legally charge for this thing at this point, they're not. They've made this freely available to anybody who buys these games. They can use their engine and all this other shit because they want people to play games, which is awesome. Let's keep going.
Fuck if you get hacked by a guy like that or anybody else, any other weirdo on the internet. They just want you to spend $40 on their like 12-year-old game and then get your IP address posted on 4chan, They don't even put like in the description of the titles on PC or even console that, hey, multiplayer's chalked. Don't bother. If you're buying this for single player, okay, fine. Do not touch the multiplayer. They should actually just take the multiplayer down completely because it's just infested with hackers and cheaters. And this is the problem. This is what I've been trying to preach, and I thought we were going to maybe get past it with the rumors of Modern Warfare.
This is a problem. If a tech company has a software that is a known security risk, and they don't do something to fix it, you can actually get in trouble for that shit. Because if you are putting your customers in jeopardy of their security, that can get you into a lot of trouble. You are knowingly allowing the loss of information, a couple other things. So, I don't think that Activision wants to go to court over somebody modifying their stuff and essentially giving it away for the good of the community. So let's keep going.
Warfare Roman numeral 2 being a 2-year game. But again, they just show that they don't give a single flying fuck, man. I thought we were going to move past this, and by this I mean it's impossible to keep these yearly titles alive. Like after a year or two, they lose all support. The studios that made them have to work on the next game, or there's like a laundry list of things to do in the current Call of Duty titles that the devs can't seem to do because I think personally they lack talent, or they just don't give a fuck. And my last video, I was very passionate, I was very angry, I was very sad, and I said something to the effect of like, if you're a dev even working for Activision at this stage, like you're a bad person. And that might be a little extreme, but I'm of the belief that I call it like I see it. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize later. Any dev that wants to speak to me, I will keep you completely anonymous. If you want to give me the nitty gritty, if you want to give me the fine details or whatever, I will not leak out anything. You will remain completely anonymous. But until then, I'm going to say that the devs are assholes just like the publishers. And to an extent, a lot of the content creators that are just in blind support of this, it's just not right, man. It's just not right. Like, you could maybe make an argument. Like, you could maybe make an argument. Them taking down SM2 because they switched engines or whatever. You could make that argument. It's a shitty argument. What they should have done, what Activision should have done, is been like, hey, we don't want you using this engine. Can you go back to the old engine? And that way they at least have to purchase Modern Warfare 2. If they did that, that's okay. I could maybe understand that. But to shut down IW4X that does nothing. That does nothing but endanger people. There's no reason to do that.
Okay, in the case of the first one, I might have misspoke. If the SW2 is using the Modern Warfare 2 engine specifically currently, yeah, that I'm sorry. I mean, it's great and all that kind of thing, but that you can't use a company's current product. So Activision is in the right as far as their rights go in our current situation. If they were using, say, the engine from 2019 as opposed to the Modern Warfare engine, or the Modern Warfare 2 engine, then they would be okay. But the second one that is using an older game's engine and have patched up the security holes, that's absolutely not right. So, as stupid as it is, the SW2, that can't go on right now because we are in the current Modern Warfare 2 engine, right? If you want to do that kind of stuff at home, you are more than welcome to, but as long as they are offering online support for those kind of things, you can't. you just can't, because they have the valid point of they still need to purchase the product. So let's keep going, because it's still fucked up what Activision is doing, and they're kind of getting Nintendo up in here. But let's just keep going.
And it endangers people still trying to play these games online. What a shit show. And anyone in support of this, God, I would punch you in the face if you were in front of me right now. I'd literally punch you like Wings punch Boogie.
Capillus, the global authority in laser hair growth, uses technology that's clinically proven to help regrow hair.
But I can't understand shutting down everything and just saying, if you do anything else, we're going to sue the shit out of you. These are just normal fans, man. These are just normal people not trying to make any money off of it. They're just trying to make a fun Call of Duty. And after seeing this, I fear Plutonium's next. Black Ops 2 Plutonium. I've posted a lot of Plutonium on this channel. My boy Thick Glutes gives me a ton of Black Ops 2 Plutonium gameplay. I used it on the last video, actually. It's a ton of fun to watch. I don't know, man. I just want to make this video and say, like, guys, if you're with me, leave a comment, leave a like. I'm sick of it, dude. I'm just sick of it. You know, if you're new to this channel, I got a lot of new subs from the last video, and thank you guys for the support and stuff, but I don't know. I don't want to be selfish with this at all. Show your support, not just for me, but show your support for anyone speaking out against Activision right now. Show your support for the people working on SM2 and the people working on IW4X and the Plutonium devs, and show your support for people wanting to just make video games.
I'm just going to reiterate here that the SW2, we don't really have a claim on right now because it is the current engine. It sucks and all that, but that one, Activision does have the full right on. I'm saying that as a tech professional. Activision has the full right on that one right now. The IWX and the Plutonium, which I just bought Black Ops 2 to start, using that particular engine they got going on over there. I just haven't done it yet. Those absolutely should be secure. and Activision shouldn't be able to have a cease and desist. But because here in the States, you can sue anybody for any reason. If I'm walking down the street and somebody wants to say, hey, you're a big fat ass and hurts my feeling, the one that I have left, I can go to my local court system, cry and complain, and start a lawsuit against them. They're not going to go to jail. Maybe if it was found that they did so much mental damage to me and made me cry so hard, maybe, or they'd have to go to counseling or some shit like that. But they're 99.9% of the time not going to go to jail for saying nasty things. But they might have to pay me a lot of money, simply because you can sue anybody for anything here in the States. And that's kind of what Activision and the other game companies are doing at this point, is they're just saying, we don't like something and we're going to sue you. And everybody gets freaked out because since the 80s and the 90s, especially us hackers and tinkerers and modders, they were just like, ooh, what does this do? We were under the constant, well, we thought that we were going to go to jail because there was a lot of stuff that was going on in the 80s and 90s. But here today, you have companies like Activision, and I had mentioned Nintendo earlier, that rely on a lot of copyright things because people don't understand that, and they misrepresent a lot of the tech laws that are out there, and they do a lot of dirty shit in and of themselves. So when you buy an older game, especially, once you purchase it, whether it's hard copy or soft copy, now in 2023, the only thing that a distributor or the original company that, you know, produces and sells this shit can do to you is nail you for a violation of terms of service, which isn't a legal thing, by the way. And regardless of what their contractual stuff says, like, oh, you lose access. You can lose access to their servers. You can lose access to a couple other things. But in general, if you bought it, it's yours now. And it's kind of one of those reasons why there is no piracy of any game that has been released to the public. That's for another video. Let's keep going on this one.
Gaming what it should be, and it should be fun. First and foremost, it should be fun. A lot of people don't find the current Call of Duties fun. They find them unfinished pieces of garbage, and objectively they are. There's really no argument against that, and they just want a fun experience, you know. But back to what I was saying, like, if you're new to this channel, you're a new sub, you know, the Blame Truth has always been a bit of a character. I take a lot of influence from professional wrestling with this character, and first and foremost, I try to be entertaining. I take these complaints and I kind of just take them to the extreme. I turn up everything to 11. But make no mistake, this video and the last video, this is not me and the Blame Truth character. This is just Anthony, the guy, you know, behind all this, saying this is bullshit, this is not right. I don't support this at all, and I'm encouraging you guys to not support Activision. And I'm just going to say outright, like, do not buy the next Call of Duty. You know it's going to be shit. The past, like, 4 games have been absolutely awful. It blows my mind they even still have players at all. Like, I see the Steam numbers for Modern Warfare Deuce dropping every single month. Just percentage upon percentage drops every single month. And I'm like, how does this not have 0? It's literally one of the worst video games ever played. Modern Warfare Deuce, Modern Warfare 2, I mean. One of the worst multiplayer experiences I've ever played. It barely resembles a game. It's so bad. I'm posting Dead by Daylight here, which I get has its complaints from the community, the hardcore community, the past several months or whatever, especially. But it's night and day. The amount of progression in Dead by Daylight, night and day. There's
I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit because I enjoy him, but we need to keep on task here. So he's gonna go into the not buying here in his closing.
Weed might seem like a harmless way to deal with stress, but using it in your teens can have the reverse effect.
whatever. That's an egregious.
All right, we're gonna watch this closing here, and then we're gonna sum up.
Example. I don't know why I'm getting into that, but regardless, guys, if you're with me, like, just don't buy the next Call of Duty. You know it's gonna be bad. I'm just trying to save you $70. Been trying to save you $70. It used to be $60, but they charge $10 more for the least amount of content I think we've ever gotten on launch with Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2. So there's that. If you think this next entry is going to be good in any way, shape, or form, you're a fool. If you think Treyarch's entry is going to be good in any way, shape, or form, I'm sorry, but you're also a fool. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen until we stop falling for this yearly scam, which is what it is at this point. It's a yearly scam. It's hyped. Everything's hyped to shit with these games, and then they never deliver. And after a few months, the player base just dies. It's done. I mean, look at this. Again, this is Steam Modern Warfare 2 numbers. I've showed this so many times, but just look at this. You can't sit here and tell me this is normal. And you can say it's just Steam or whatever, but we don't have the console hard numbers. So we don't know how much it's dropped, but come on, dude, it's dropped. Like,
Today in 2023, the Steam numbers are probably the most accurate thing you're gonna see. So that's again, that's me talking as a tech professional. That's not just Lloyd the gamer telling you. That's legit. He is absolutely right. The Steam numbers are pretty fucking solid, regardless of platform. The only time that you can't rely on Steam numbers is when a company normally doesn't like to have its numbers, which is why Activision doesn't have a lot of stuff through Steam on a constant when it comes to COD. Like these last couple Call of Duties were actually available through Steam. But previously, they wouldn't do that, or they wouldn't do it until a lot later. And we'll actually see some of that here in a minute. So let's keep going.
the numbers we do have show such a sharp decline. It's just insane. And this, keep in mind, this is not just Modern Warfare 2 and the multiplayer. This is also Warzone 2, which is a colossal failure. And I don't know, every aspect, Warzone 2 is a colossal failure. I'm sick of it. They don't care. They don't understand that if they just make a better game, we wouldn't have to make these mods in the first place. You wouldn't even have to shut them down. You wouldn't have to shut down things just trying to increase the security of these old games. But they don't have the talent or the care to do that. So fuck them. They can eat my asshole till it resembles a California raisin. I'm out, guys. Hope you have a good one. Peace.
Okay, so that was what Blame Truth had to say about that. And as I said, I enjoy him. And if you aren't subscribed to him, please go subscribe to him. He's very entertaining and very informative. And he's playing that Death by Daylight in his background gameplay as kind of a protest against the COD shit going on. And he's done some other games and stuff too in protest against what's going on over time. So check his shit out. And so let's get into some of these things that he was talking about from a professional, quote unquote, standpoint. So I didn't actually introduce myself in the beginning of this video, I don't think. So we'll take a second to do that. I'm Lloyd Fair II. Here on my YouTube channel, I'm FNG007. And this is me professionally. I'm a United States Air Force veteran. I'm a gray hat. That's a hacker to those of you who do not know the vernacular. I specialize in OSINT, InfoSec, and I'm a consultant. I'm a troubleshooter. I've been in the tech industry for better than 20 years. Um, some of it prior to my military service, i.e., I've been hacking since I was 15 years old. Um, hardware and software. So, um, with that, I have a couple things that are for sale on this doohickey here. You can check that out. I also have some free resources. You can check those out. And here's all my socials and stuff like that. I have my own website. Um, but let's get into this Activision thing and let's parse this. All right. So there was a lot of the cease and desist on here because of many um, accusations and all that kind of stuff. So we are on my Steam right now. And let's see. You see, I just bought recently the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 because okay, so that other one is the one that is affected. Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome, actually. So I was mistaken in which one I even bought. Great. So that does affect me, which I and the one for Black Ops 3 is the one, it's the XM. I'll have to look at what that engine is again. Um, that Activision was trying to say that they have to use. No, they don't. They don't have to shift. Um, but I have the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and I last played it day before my birthday. Okay. Uh, and I've uninstalled it because it's such a dog shit game. It really is. It's a dog shit game. I also have Cold War. Cold War was a decent game. Um, after Cold War, no, no. Mm-mm. I did not buy 2019. Um, but this just goes to show how shitty it is. Let's see here. We'll go. Get out of there. We'll go here. Uh, that's what I was getting a hold of for my thumbnail for this stream. Let's look up MW2 Steam charts. Not wearing my glasses right now, so. Oh, gotta tick the right box. Oh. Let's have a look at this thing. Right? What Blame Truth is saying is that these are continuously in decline. This was when the game published, right? And it's just done nothing but lose in under a year. So regardless of how many they started with, the percentages that they're dropping, this is ridiculous. I mean, that's just signs of an unhealthy product in any industry. This is an unhealthy product. What's the reasoning that your player base has declined so much inside of a year on a game that was supposed to have a 2-year cycle? Okay? No. Just no. This is a dog shit title. And they want to come out with cease and desist orders against modders and people doing shit for free on third party support type shit. Okay. No. Just no. Activision is dog shit, has been dog shit. I actually didn't get to start playing Destiny 2 until they split off from Activision. Uh, Bungie did the split. And I've had my issues with, Bungie over the years and stuff too, but they are no Activision, which is why they split. Um, but they are dog shit. We should not be supporting this company. As consumers, we shouldn't be supporting this company. Period. We shouldn't be supporting these companies. So there's probably some of you out there like, Lloyd, what the hell are you talking about? Like, um, what do you mean that this is totally legal to reverse engineer and all? No, it's not. No, it's not. Yes, it is. For example, let's look at Microsoft because the tech industry is, um, well, it's pretty cutthroat, to be honest with you. It's pretty cutthroat. And when a company is releasing a product and it's not in any consumer's hands so far, that's when, if you were to say, get a hold of a prototype or something like that, and you reverse engineer it, you can get into some deep trouble for um, piracy and corporate espionage and those kind of things. But once a product releases to the public, it has now started its life cycle. And when you publicly come out to your consumers and go, hey, we are done supporting XYZ product, so thank you for purchasing all this other kind of stuff. What happens is you have now opened up for what's known as third party support, legal third party support. During your product's life cycle, any consumer or customer of your product can reverse engineer your shit. They can reverse engineer your shit, take it apart, and pretty much do what they want to with it. There are some stipulations, and it does get pretty nitty gritty, but for the most part, you can reverse engineer, repurpose, and resell and do a whole bunch of other things completely legally. The only thing that you run risk of doing with your original company that you purchased from is a violation of terms of service, which that means that you knowingly have altered a product and you just accept the fact that they aren't going to support you for free. So, they're out. They will more than happily take your money if you want them to repair your shit because you broke it. But there's no warranties, there's no anything, and you're on your own, right? There's no other legal ramification for doing those kind of things. That's why when you say buy a PSP, for instance, and you jailbreak it, this is an old ass game or old ass game system. It's an old ass, games and all that other kind of stuff. So, especially once I purchased the device and I purchased the games, they are mine to do as I will. So, what we are dealing with today is a game that does have a single player experience. It is not all online. A lot of it is today. So what that means is that your single player experience, you are legally allowed to do what the fuck you want with it. Your multiplayer experience is where, things get pretty iffy, um, for the individual. When you got these groups that are setting up their own servers and stuff like that, you can go there and you can play on their servers, but you have to follow their rules. Okay. Those things get really convoluted to the average consumer. So I'm not going to go in too deep on those. If you honestly have some questions about it, feel free to ask. But I'm trying to keep things simple for the average consumer here. So, what Activision and other game companies are essentially trying to do is maintain an iron grip on what they view as their assets when once something is sold, it's not theirs anymore. It's not theirs anymore. They do have some rights, and you can't just take whole cloth from them. But as far as modifications, uh, repurposing, um, reverse engineering their stuff and improvements and all those other things, it's kind of the Wild West. And that's what these game companies have forgotten, is that after your life cycle starts, it does have a finite end on when you can really not bitch anymore. And when it just opens it up for, again, third party support. So we'll come back to Microsoft, which is what I started that little conversation off with. Microsoft, um, it ends support for its operating systems over time, right? Most recently with XP and Windows 7. And now we're up to like 8.1 they have ended support on. Do you know how many third party supporters there are for Windows 7? Or hell, Windows 95, Windows 98? Okay? Has Bill Gates or Microsoft ever, ever tried to sue one of these third party supporters? Maybe, but it probably hasn't been in the papers or anything like that. And they probably were doing something really stupid as a third party, i.e., like saying that they worked for Microsoft or, um, you know, misrepresenting Microsoft or something like that. But they were supporting unsupported Microsoft products, so they didn't get sued. And they wouldn't have gotten sued because Bill Gates isn't an idiot. He's not an idiot. So you've got all these third party out there. And in the gaming world, that's exactly who these modders are at this point. That allow us to continue to play these old games as consumers because the original company isn't supporting it. They aren't supporting it. And then they want to come back and try to put the hammer down on these companies and scare them into not developing anymore. They could actually start charging people to play on their servers and stuff if they wanted to. As a businessman, I'd be like, yeah, maybe you should. As a gamer and being appreciative of the fact that they don't want to, I love y'all for that. I really do. That makes me happy. There's very few things in this world that make me happy, and that's one of them. Is that there's still people out there that just want other people to be able to game and have fun and enjoy themselves and not worry about uh, dirty operators that are out there trying to steal your information and all that other kind of shit. So that's about all I'm going to say on Activision. They're full of shit. They're a crock of shit. And they're games. are dog shit. Their employees are fucked in the head. And you know, these little development studios are right on point, you know, putting on the big boy pants or girl. I mean, let's be politically correct here, right? The big boy or girl pants and fucking sacking up and taking care of business so that we can keep on playing these games that are actually good. The gameplay is good. It's the monetization models that have really gotten out of hand with especially Activision, for instance. But these games are good in and of themselves. But Activision has just gone down the road of uber monetization, and I I don't understand. I don't understand how some of y'all pay for that shit, these bundles, and I'm sorry. As a person that I do pay for stuff when I want it, and if there's a skin or something that I want in a game that I'm playing, hell yeah, I'm gonna pay for it. Shiny, nice. But these active, this is fucking ridiculous. $25, 25 dollars for a fucking skin? Are you kidding me? It's like a quarter of the cost of the game itself. Fuck off. You're fucking retarded. Ah, no wonder Blame Truth is always on the rant because he's right. He doesn't have the experiences that I have, but he's right. So I'm gonna close with a little bit of just putting some of my shit out there. Like Sam Lloyd, FNG 007 here on station. I do a lot more with the emulation and older games and a little bit of modding here and there. Um, but you know, like what big gaming wishes you didn't know about retro game emulation. This applies to this kind of shit. It's more of the same. Um, that all these gaming companies have forgotten that hey, they're part of the tech world, and I'm at the top echelon of this motherfucker. Humility aside, um, yeah. Let's see. Show you this. I average, 7 to 10,000 views of my content a month on Quora. I've been doing that shit for a few years just for grins and giggles. Uh, I've worked on some missile systems and the F-22's electronic suite, the F-35s, a couple other national defense projects. Um, yeah, I uh, I I think that any big game company that would try to tell me what I could or couldn't do can suck my balls. And as a hacker from the old school, I thought that we fucking dealt with this shit back in the 90s. This is bullshit. And you know, you're putting that nail into your own damn coffin. That's the way it is. So I'm aware this got a little bit ranty and all that kind of stuff, but this is something I'm pretty passionate about. I don't like the whole denial of service to consumers and the taking advantage of people that are trying to uh, make gaming better because those people that are um, developing the third party support in games that overall are good games, the company's just dog shit. The games are good, the company's just dog shit. Sorry. Not sorry. Um, and, aside from the SW2, which is apparently still, it's using the modern engine, which is still in its life cycle, so you can't do that. You could do it with your friends, um, like 5 to 10, and it wouldn't be a big deal. But you can't just whole cloth offer that to the public now. If you waited about a year or two, yeah, you could. Free and clear, yeah, you could. So those guys, wait those couple years and put your shit back out there. Please wait a couple years, put your shit back out there. But to the other one, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, Activision shouldn't be sending you cease and desists. Well, they can, but you probably should just tell them to fuck off. I mean, if you honestly can't afford a lawyer, I understand. Uh, and, doing the comply thing, because big money normally does win. But if it actually were to go to court, their fucking lawsuit really has no teeth. It has no teeth. Because once it's found that the game is old, it's outside of its life cycle, and you're offering third party support and all those things, judge is going to go, why are you wasting my fucking time? Bye. So, this has been kind of fun. I hope it was informative. I did not look at any chat or anything the whole time. I don't have 2 monitors. I only have the one. But this was something that I wanted to get out while it was fresh in the mind. So go follow Blame Truth and anybody else speaking out against fucking Activision. And, follow decent content creators only who acknowledge the problem with modern gaming. And, if you like, comment, subscribe, tell me you hate me. I don't care. It all helps the algorithm. Till next time, have a great one.